Welcome to Grateful for Venturing, and today we are off to Warriors of Middle-Earth, the LARP that I've been going on about for the last week or so. Having a lovely beginning to the morning as Enterprise called me up and decided that the van I wanted isn't available in the location I want, so I'm going to have to find my way out to another location, but these things happen. What we're going to do, catch up when I am finally mobile. I have made it. It's back there, but I need to get changed. And of course, being in Scotland, we're having a little bit of a drizzle. That's fine. So I'm in the car all day. I was supposed to be vlogging the journey, but it has been just delays. Gonna head down, find my camping spot, quickly get changed into my cosplay gear, and have a couple of apples whilst I walk up, because I'm starving. I haven't eaten anything today. Vanny. This is the forest that many of the ranging expeditions took place in, and the pathway up to the fort. Almost there. This is the gatehouse. Quite a few skirmishes occurred at those doors. Awesome views over the beautiful Scottish countryside and the incredible location this LARP was set in. There were a few gigantic film props scattered around, like this incredible trebuchet and this impressive battering ram. Some people camped in person. This is the top camp next to the archery range, and the view from the top camp down into the combat arena. The health and safety weapons brief was disguised as a combat tutorial, so everything was done in character, which was very, very immersive. This is them going through the melee combat, with a little bit of private tutoring as well as some light sparring. As I only had my bow for the first day, this is me practicing up at the archery range. With that, night slowly descended as one of the cast recited the Silmarillion around a campfire. As we got further into the night, more alcohol was consumed and conversations were had in and out of character. Good morning. It is day 2 of the LARP and I am feeling rough. I went full on yesterday, bombing up here. Probably a bit faster than I should have done, then immediately dove headfirst into everything that was going on. I then spent a bit of time hanging around people, chatting one thing or another. There were some farmers that came to me and said that their crops were dying. Then went out on a short ranging mission to find some supplies that had gone missing. I headed out from the fort into the woodland and essentially stalked a load of bandits, and I got to go into combat for the first time, and I was flinging arrows all over the place and it was awesome. Got a few really cool hits, but it is such an interesting feeling when you are with a group of people like that. And obviously the combat is beyond staged, you know, we just hit each other with a load of foam and latex, but there is a feeling, you know, you do get that adrenaline rush. We then headed back to the fort for some downtime, which was great. We had a final speech from the captain of the fort, and he was then assassinated by an orc. And obviously now the captain has been assassinated, there appears to be a bit of a power vacuum. We have no leadership anymore, but we'll just have to go with it. So we will be chasing up a few loose ends. Then as the night set in, we cracked a few beers and begun to really enjoy ourselves. Thus why I feel a bit rough today. I think I ate 2 pears and half a sandwich the entire day and then had some beers. So I'm feeling rough. I do need to rehydrate. Just gonna do that now get everything in order, brush my teeth, head up to the fort to see what is going on.
Before I forget, I should say, I was spoken to by one of the marshals yesterday, and apparently this arrow head is not allowed. It's a real bummer because that was my only weapon. I intended to bring a sword with me, but I didn't arrive in time, and those are my only arrows. So I was thinking to myself, brilliant, right, what am I going to do now? And then he said, come to the armory tomorrow and I'll sort you out. So that is in fact my first mission of the day, to get properly outfitted for being here, which will be very, very exciting. Another thing that occurred last night that I forgot, there was an orc attack on the main gate, and we repelled it, but it was too dark for me to shoot arrows, apparently, one of the marshals said, in character, which is quite cool. So I thought to myself, brilliant, well, what do I do now? Because I can't fight, do I just sit here? And so I decided to start dragging people back who were injured from the battle and having roleplay moments with them instead. And it was awesome.
After I had made my way up into the fort, I went around looking for this blacksmith and eventually got my hands on this incredible LARP safe sword and arrows that were compliant. In between a couple of ranging missions that occurred, we mainly did some light sparring and conversated in character. This is where I would organically create a quest for myself. I had a conversation with a couple of hobbits in this covered area here. They were talking about their worries of not having a particular herb for their healing potions. So, rather surreally, I felt an overwhelming sense of obligation and responsibility, and so slapped my thighs, stood up and told them I was going to go out into the woods to find a particular herb for them. I quickly corralled a posse and we made our way out into the woodland. As we made our way into the forest, I saw a group of hooded figures stood in a circle holding candles. They vastly outnumbered us, so instead of attacking, we retreated back to the fort, letting everybody else know what we'd seen. More people quickly came to our call, and before we knew it, we were heading into the woods. The hooded figures turned out to be a coven of witches, and as we approached, all but one of them slit their throats in a dark ritual. It felt incredible to know that this series of events had occurred simply from me interacting with a couple of the players back at the fort. And with that, I want to say a big thank you to everyone that was involved in the Warriors of Middle-Earth LARP, for the awesome in and out of character interactions I had with players, and the incredible generosity and role-playing moments I had with staff. This was my first ever LARP experience, and I will treasure it always. And thanks for watching.